pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Entertain a motion for approval of minutes from the commission meeting on May 5th, 2026.
President, I reviewed the minutes from May 5th, 2026 regular session of the Marshall County Commission. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as prepared.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes from May 5th, 2026. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Commissioners' comments. Commissioner McLaughlin.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I participated in the county government day of prayer at the courthouse where I said a prayer for county government. I also attended the Helping Heroes fundraising event. I performed the duties as ballot commissioner on election day here at the courthouse. I attended the board of canvassing here at the courthouse. I responded to several constituents' phone calls and emails. I had several discussions with local and state officials regarding various projects around Marshall County.
Commissioner Grazinskis.
Thank you, Mr. President. My activity was I attended with Commissioner McLaughlin National Day of Prayer here at the courthouse. Also with my fellow commissioners, I attended primary night, and the following day was the seminar held at the health department, and it was conducted by Mr. John Sereni, a former county commissioner of Hancock County, and it was on refresher for Robert's Rules of Order. Also attended a Family Resource Network board meeting, and also with conducted along with my other commissioners a vote canvass for our primary election, and that's been my activity.
Thank you, sir. One of my activities was to finalize the purchase of the AEP building. So that was, meeting took place, participated as a ballot commissioner on election day, was requested to participate for orientation for Mountaineer Board State. So spoke at that event, as well as the canvass of the vote yesterday, and also managed constituent calls and 2 constituent meetings. Public comments.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. Give you a quick little rundown on what's going on. Yesterday we had a great day with Moundsville Middle School. We had 230 kids came up to the park. They helped us do some cleanup in the park. It was a phenomenal opportunity to see the partnership and then help the kids learn respect for Grandview and nature in general. So it was a good opportunity. They got to swim in the pool, so they were very excited, the first ones of the year. So everything was good. Today we have Glendale Elementary School will be coming up, so they'll be in the pool today. So yeah, everything's moving as far as that's concerned. We all know this is a big weekend. It's a Memorial Day weekend. Grandview Park is completely full. So we have all 40 sites, all 12 cabins. Everything is completely full this weekend. And we have a nice lineup of activities going on as well. We start off Friday night with Pocket Change. We'll be at the barn area. All proceeds will go to the Kids to Grandview project. And when I say proceeds, I mean we will be selling alcohol at the facility, and therefore all those proceeds go to Kids to Grandview. Saturday, pool opens for the official for the season. And we're going to start off with a 9:30 birding for all. Woody will be out there taking people for a little bird hike, checking things out. During the pool operations around 2 o'clock, we will have a little pool party going on. We got Minute to Win It games, all kind of activities going on, and that'll last from about 2 to 3:30. At 6 o'clock, we got a kids' foam party. So if kids want to come up and bring them, they can get doused with foam and end up very wet and have to go home with the kids, with the parents. Obviously, we got Grandview Bingo going on Saturday night. And then we're going to end that evening with Dueling Night Zips. So the Yahoos, the 2,100-foot ride starts at 9:15. Then on Sunday, May 24th, we have the t-shirt tie-dye activity. So that'll be taken care of for the kids. And then a poppy art craft where they're going to learn a little bit about the history of Memorial Day with that. So a lot of activities. A quick update on construction. So they expect to be done clearing for the road this week. So we should be done clearing that for the sewage project and the road part. Cabin part, surveyor will be on site Wednesday to actually check which trees need to be removed for those cabins. And so we'll get started with that. Disruption to cabin guests or any of that kind of stuff regarding the cabin project probably won't happen for another 2 to 3 weeks. So we're going strong with that kind of stuff. One new new activity that is going to be happening at the pool this year is we will be adding alcohol service. So we will be selling anything in cans, seltzers, beer. We have plastic little wine bottles. The procedure is going to be when you come in, you will be carded at the door if you at check-in. So once you come in, you'll get a wristband if you plan to drink. So if you are drinking, then you will not be going down the slide or on the diving board. So that's how we're going to start to administer this process. So we're really excited for this new concept. You know, for the most part, it's something that I think we could capture on and really have more people come out and enjoy it. So thanks for your time and have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Further public comments? If not, we'll move on to correspondence. We have a letter here from the Moundsville Marshall County Public Library requesting the reappointment of Karen Caulfield, another 5-year term to the board.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to reappoint Karen Caulfield to a 5-year term of the Moundsville Marshall County Library beginning July 1st, 2026.
Second.
Motion and a second to reappoint Karen Caulfield to a 5-year term beginning July 1st, 2026 to the Marshall County Library Board. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We also have a copy of the Marshall County Sewage District minutes. They'll be available in the clerk's office. Paid bills, financial items. Next, budget revisions. We have two budget revisions, one for Office of Emergency Management and one for the Sheriff's Department. They're in-house budget revisions.
President, I'll make a motion to accept the in-house budget revision for the Office of Emergency Services.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the in-house budget revision from Office of Emergency Management. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Mr. President, I'm also make a motion to accept the budget revision for the Washington County Sheriff's Department as submitted.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the budget revision, in-house budget revision for the Sheriff's Department. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Order of business number 8, exonerations. We have none. Probate and fiduciary matters. We have the estate of Donald Timothy Miller, deceased, fiduciary commissioner report and order adopting the petition to resign as administrator by Timothy Mason Casto Miller, and an order the appointment of Marla Ray Cumston as the administrator of that particular estate.
President, I'll make a motion accepting the order adopting the fiduciary commissioner's report as submitted.
As well as the appointment of Maria Ray Cumston.
Yeah, and the appointment of Maria Ray Cumston.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt the fiduciary commissioner's report and order adopting the petition to resign as administrator by Timothy Mason Casto Miller, and the order of appointment of Marla Ray Cumston as the administrator. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. That's it. Settlements. We have 20 settlements.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, I reviewed the settlements, and I'll make a motion to accept the 20 settlements as submitted by the county clerk.
Second.
Motion and second to adopt the 20 settlements and approve the 20 settlements as provided by the clerk. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Name changes, none. Unfinished business, none. Moving on to community grants. The Strand Theater requests funds. Would recognize Joan Palmer at this time.
Hi. Hi. Joan Palmer representing the Strand Theater Preservation Society. Good morning. Yes, I'm here to talk about our next two facilities upgrade projects. We keep kind of a triage at the theater on what needs to happen next, and normally we attempt to address one per year. With the fire curtain project being such a major project, and it took well over 2 years to come to fruition with different expenses and additional needs with electric and support for the floor where the system sat and moving sound equipment, it took us quite a while to get that off the block, and so we're ready to move forward now with our next upgrades. The first one that's in most dire need is our video projector. The projector that we are using is a cast-off from Marshall County Schools, and it has served us so far, but it is becoming increasingly more unreliable, and it is no longer, it has the technology because it is so antiquated that we are unable to use a lot of the modern technologies that we need to run through the system, so it's causing us problems at this state. So this is something that has to get replaced for our theater. Once it is replaced, it's going to enhance every event that we do have at the theater. And then the second project is a safety project because we are continuing to increase our programming and thereby increasing our crowd attendance. It's forcing more of the audience members up into the balcony area where there are no handrails on our stairway. And so we are concerned with the possibility of an accident on the stairs. And also, while we're doing these handrails, the front railing is still from the 1920s and is not up to today's safety standards as far as height regulations. So we want to address that also. So we have contacted both companies. The projection system is from Open Systems Pittsburgh. They have quoted us $58,800 for this system. And the balcony railings are the Wheeling Company, Adventures in Elegance, and they've quoted us $38,000. And so we are writing grants. We have a cultural facilities grant that we are going to submit to the State Department that they will cover up to 50% of projects. The hand railing, I'm going to write a fast track grant to West Virginia Department of Tourism. They will cover up to $10,000 of a project. So that leaves us the remaining to have to cover ourselves. And so I am here for the commission. Any financial assistance would be greatly appreciated to help us with these projects.
Ms. Palmer, have you ever given any consideration to writing senators and delegates? Because I know they have community grants available to them. They aren't large, but 5,000 here, 10,000 there would certainly help.
Yes, and I probably need to do that for this grant.
Okay.
We did have Mr. Delegate Stevens. He did help us with a LEAD grant.
Okay.
So yes, the answer is yes, it has been done in the past.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions, gentlemen?
No, I mean, I believe that the commission is willing to participate in your fundraising event per se. You need 96,000. I did my math right, you got 58 of it, or you need 38,000, correct?
For matching,
As of now.
for matching, and yes.
So, I think that we should table it until you can come back to us and say, this is what we got, and this is what we actually need.
Okay,
That would be my recommendation, Mr. President.
Would entertain a motion to do that.
I will make a motion to table the request of the Strand Theater Preservation Society until a time of which they can come back and tell us what they actually need.
I can do that.
Second.
Motion and a second to table the requests until we see you again for, to see what is actually needed. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay,
Thank you. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Under new business, EMS Week proclamation. I'll go ahead and read the proclamation. EMS Week proclamation, whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas emergency medical services fills healthcare gaps by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventive medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine, whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills, and whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating the Emergency Medical Services Week. Now, therefore, we, the Marshall County Commission, in recognition of the event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17 through May 23, 2026 as Emergency Medical Services Week. The 52nd anniversary of EMS Week theme is EMS Week, Improving Outcomes Together. I encourage the community to observe this week with the appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities to honor those of our EMS profession and the essential service that it provides. Prior to adopting the proclamation, I would personally say you all took very good care of my father for about 4 years. And so your professionalism is second to none. And you are recognized throughout the county. Nothing but absolutely tremendous comments about you. And not only are you professional while delivering those services, what I will say is my mother has seen you out in public, and you make it personal then. You'll say, "Hi, Mrs. Varner. We were there helping your husband." And she'll come back and tell me, "Hey, I didn't know who they were, but they told me they were in the house and they were dead." So I have nothing but tremendous things to say about you, and I'm sure my fellow commissioners will echo those sentiments.
I would just like to add that all of you should be very proud of the reputation that you've built. It's because of the care and compassion that you show to the patients that you treat. It's very, very vital, and it's very heartwarming when we talk to people out in the community, and they always talk about the blue and gold ambulances. I want those guys to come. I want the blue and gold guys. So you've built a reputation of being professional, being very caring, and exhibiting a huge degree of compassion. And I'm very proud of you all, and I wish that, that you are able to continue and enjoy this week. You deserve a lot of credit for what you do.
As my fellow commissioner said, I'm very proud of you for everything you do for our community. Everything you do is appreciated. I 110% support the EMS service, and I know my fellow commissioners 110% support you all. We will continue to provide you with the equipment, the best equipment available so you can do your jobs. We'll continue to provide you with the wages necessary to keep you here. We want you to stay in Marshall County. And I know I'm available anytime you ever need anything or have any questions. I'm available for you. And again, I'd like to say thank you for everything you do. I know as a former law enforcement officer, I did it for 20 years. When an ambulance was needed at an accident or at someone's home, it was a big relief when you heard that siren. So thank you again for all you do, and we look forward to working with you for the next several years.
One final comment before we adopt it. I will tell you that there's a gentleman in the Cameron area. We hadn't established Marshall County EMS probably 2 months. And every time I see this gentleman, he'll say, "Hey, just so you know, if it weren't for Marshall County EMS, my mother would have passed away." Every single time I see him. And he certainly, he echoes the sentiments of the residents of the county, that you all really are tremendous, and we certainly appreciate your work. Would entertain a motion to adopt the proclamation.
Mr. President, I will make a motion to adopt the proclamation for EMS Week in Marshall County for the week of May 17th to the 23rd, 2026.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt the EMS proclamation declaring May 17 through May 23 EMS Week. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
You know what that means, don't you?
I'm looking at you two in the back.
I need to stand up front. You're the ones up front.
Short people in the front. Oh, sorry.
That means you.
I know, very short. Shortest, actually. Can't compare with Lee's hair, though.
He just said nice.
Already. Wow, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody. Thank you.
You've got more hair on your head than I've ever had in my life.
They need to.
Am I? I'm bent over.
All right, Dave, take that way.
I don't know what's going on. I just know me and Carney are in the back.
All right, there you go. Gentlemen, can you stand back next to Lee?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Oh, Scott, you got to come this way. Sorry.
Right, okay.
All right. Ready? Couple more. Tyler, step to your left. All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you too.
Good job, Tyler.
Nope, I got it.
On behalf of Grandview Park, I appreciate all the times you guys have to come up.
You guys don't have to leave. It's a very riveting
I have to
meeting.
get meds first.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure.
Well, I need meds too.
Can we go?
Oh, no.
Next item on the agenda is the 2025 delinquent tax list.
Yes, Chief Tax Deputy Amy Carmichael has an illness in her family, is not able to be here today. We need approval so they can publish our 2025 delinquent tax list one time in the month of May. The good news this year is last year, the 2024 totals were just shy of $50 million in delinquent taxes. This year, they are just shy of $6 million. That difference, the big part of that difference is one company. So they have caught up their back taxes, they have paid their current taxes, and we believe that we've made strides to keep that moving for a while. So if you all could accept the list, approve the publication, and then when our clerk gets back, she can sign.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to accept the 2025.
It's alive.
It's alive. 2025 real property publication list, and also give approval to publish the list for the month of May 2006.
Second.
Motion and a second to
Accept and publish.
motion and a second to accept and publish the 2025 delinquent tax list one time in the month of May. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Well, it's coming apart.
We just need a
How
bigger.
much room?
Yeah, here, I'll just,
It's all right, just
Thanks.
right inside the blue one. How's that right there? Slide it up the road. Okay. Get your Wheaties to move that one around. Item C, under new business, FY 2027 health insurance renewal.
if you don't mind, I'll go through all of them, and at the end, you can accept or reject the ones that you feel necessary. All in all, the way renewals are coming in across the state for county government, we fared very, very well. We will see no increase in our vision premium, and we will see no decrease in services for vision, which is VSP. We will see no increase in our dental premium, and we will see no decrease in the service, which is Delta Dental. No, it's not. It's Highmark Dental, sorry. We will see no increase for life insurance, which is standard. And we will see no increase in our prescription cost for Highmark. Now, there is one difference in our prescription medicine, and it is their Sensible RX Complete. When you purchase a brand name drug that has a generic equivalent, the purchaser will be responsible for the brand drug copayment plus the difference in the name brand and the generic drug. Now, that is if it is purchaser preference. There is still the route that doctors can go if the doctor says you cannot, because of an ingredient or some other reason, take the generic. The doctors can still appeal. And I want everybody to know that is not a Marshall County change. That is an across-the-board Highmark change with their prescription services.
So that's a choice of the employee to take the higher prescription.
Correct.
Or their doctor says they can use this one if they want. So if they choose this one, that's on them.
Yes. And not only is it the higher copay, it is actually the difference between the drug cost, yes. Yes, but you're right, it is an employer or an employee decision. The big one, which actually, as big as it is not bad if you look at surrounding counties and the renewals they're receiving from their health plan. We received a 10% increase this year. So that is across the board, whether it's single, parent and children, double, or family. There is one difference that I know of right now. In 2026, the legislature passed a bill, actually they passed two bills, that strengthens some of the coverages that providers have to provide, and it is with well visits. The one that we know of are women over 40. All of their breast cancer screenings will be covered 100%, and there will be no copay. There will be no diminish services with our health plan. It all stays the same, but as Highmark works through this legislation before July 1, if there are other changes, we will let everybody know. So this year's renewal rates, single is $1,282.90. The parent is $2,309.20. Double, $2,565.78, and family, $3,592.09. Two other things I wanted to share with you all. So our loss ratio for insurance this year was 74.8%, actually, which is very good in my mind. You know, they only paid out 74.8% of the premium that was paid to them. So, you know, in my mind, we should have received a reduction, but that's not the way insurances work. Now, they say unless it's 50% or less, you're not going to see a reduction. But 10%, I think our employees have done very well. After reviewing all of the claims, after reviewing all of the circumstances, the one thing that we will be going office to office talking about on top of the premiums is, please, if you are sick and can go to an urgent care or a MedExpress, go there. We have 5 employees who, between the 5 of them, have gone to the ER 13 times. Now, if it is a legitimate issue, great. But if people are using the ER as an urgent care, that hurts our that plays into the factor of our renewal every year, because the cost is greater when employees go to the emergency room instead of something that could be taken care of in an MedExpress. And then the other, last year when we switched from health plan to Highmark, you all chose to increase the HRA. It went from, I forget what it was, 3 and 5, but anyways, we went to a 5 and 10. Employees still are responsible for the $500 and $1,000 per family. When we did that, the gross amount that we could have paid out was $1.48 million. As of yesterday, our plan has paid out $396,573. So you all taking on the cost of that HRA played a huge part in us only receiving a 10% increase. And if you look at those numbers, that is way less than a quarter of what we could have paid. And that's a lot of what keeps our premium down. So thank you.
Questions of Ms. Ron Epler?
Just to be clear, that 396,000 number is the number that we saved our employees on costs that they could have been associated with.
No, that number, when you all implemented the $5,000 and $10,000 HRA, you're guaranteeing those payments.
Right.
So that portion is the portion that could have been paid out by the county as direct payment to Highmark. Yeah.
And that 10% increase is equivalent to what number?
I did not bring that.
Okay.
I will send it to you.
Any further questions?
Okay, so if I could have a motion to accept, let's see, we need an approval, has no signature line, but we need an approval and a signature on the front for VSP.
Let's do them one at a time, please.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to accept the vision benefit renewal for VSP Vision Care.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the renewal for vision benefit renewal notice for Vision Care, VSP Vision Care. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Just initials, there is no signature line on most of these. The dental renewal with no increase, I just need a motion to accept and a signature by the president.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to accept the dental renewal agreement for this is Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, West Virginia.
Second.
Motion and second to accept the dental renewal agreement for Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And then I need a motion for signature by the president for the renewal acceptance agreement for the health and prescription coverage, which also entails a stamp and a date on the first page of this and initials on the second, and the first page of this and the initials on the second, and those are just showing the coverages.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to accept the renewal for the health and prescription coverage to the Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield as presented here today.
Second.
Motion and a second to accept and renew the agreements with Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield prescription. Also, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Betsy, does it have to be on the front, or can it be on the signature page?
The first one, those two, it needs to be on the front with a signature by the president, and then the second page just needs an initial and a date.
Line, that must be ours.
Next is somewhat of a surprise.
Yeah, right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't want to go 2 meetings without being up here. So I'm here to request permission to hire. This will be to replace Brian Hales, who will be resigning. I would like to hire Lakin Jones of Dallas. She is a young girl. She's tested and passed and interviewed very well. I'd like her start date to be tomorrow at the starting 911 salary of $39,900, and for probably 5 minutes, I'll be at full staff.
Tomorrow, so we need to fix that.
What'd I put?
29th.
Oh, crap. Yeah, 20.
We draw a line through that and just put 20.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion upon the recommendation of the 911 director to hire Lakin Jones, beginning May 20th, 2026, at a starting 911 salary of $39,900.
Second.
Motion and a second upon the recommendation of Director Robinson to hire Lakin E. Jones, start date May 20th, 2026, at the starting 911 salary of $39,900. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Got confused till I saw that first name of Brian on there. Oh. Thought I was just wrong.
You have to take our person.
Yeah, we should have done this opposite.
You could say no.
Yeah, you could. And that would leave us at
You guys have copies for 2 court security and the deputy,
I do.
everything?
I don't know that they print them.
I've read them.
I always.
Court security.
Which, do you guys prefer, where we go first?
If you'd like.
Okay, very good. For court security, we still had 2 open positions that hadn't been filled, and we are requesting permission to hire from you gentlemen for Mr. Brian Hales. We want him to begin Monday, June 15th, 2026, at an annual salary of $44,900. Brian will be transferring from Marshall County 911, sorry, Carol, to court security. That's why the reflection, that's salary-wise, because he's already been an employee of the county, so his salary will transfer with him. The second individual would be Mr. Gus Keprios, as full-time security officer. His start date would be Monday, June 15th, 2026, at an annual salary of $34,700. And just for the notes, both of these gentlemen are retired from Wheeling Police Department, have extensive experience, and we feel they'll be a good fit for court security.
Questions of the sheriff? If not,
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to hire Gus Caprios as full-time court security effective Monday, June 15th, 2026, at a starting salary of $34,700.
Second.
motion and second to employ Gus Caprios, start date of Monday, June 15th, 2026, at an annual salary of $34,700. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Mr. President, I'll also make a motion that we hire Brian Hales as he's transferring from 911 to court security beginning June 15, 2026, at the annual salary of $44,900, as recommended by the sheriff.
Second.
Motion and second to employ Brian Hales as a full-time court security officer, start date of June 15th, 2026, at the annual salary of $44,900, as recommended by the sheriff. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Sheriff, we have one more?
Yes, sir. My last request for this morning is for a vacancy I have for a sheriff's deputy after an individual had resigned. Would like your guys' consent to hire Benjamin Scott. He would begin his duties with the sheriff's office on Monday, June 1st, 2026, at a starting salary of $60,000 with a full benefits package. Mr. Scott is 30 years old, currently resides in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. He is a 2016 graduate of West Green High School. He graduated the West Virginia State Police Academy in the 193rd Basic Class, and he is currently employed by the Westover Police Department since August of 2022. A little bit more background on Mr. Scott. His wife is actually a teacher at Cameron Middle School. They are looking to purchase a home in Marshall County. They do plan on moving to Marshall County. For the time being, they're just right over in Waynesburg. They're well within he's well within the travel distance that we have set up to be a deputy sheriff here in Marshall County. And it's actually a good thing, him being on that end of the county, to be a quick response for us that direction. I interviewed him extensively with Chief Deputy Robinson, and I think he's going to be a really, really good fit. Seems to be really anxious. He's one that wants to get into the drug interdiction side of things, and just seems like that he'd be a really good fit for me. So,
Questions of the sheriff? Start date again?
June 1st. Yes, sir.
And I can't remember what the second one was. It's all right.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to accept the recommendation of the sheriff and employ Benjamin Scott as the deputy sheriff effective June 1st, 2026, at the starting salary of $60,000.
Second.
Motion and second to employ Benjamin Scott, $60,000, beginning start date June 1st, 2026. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I know what my question was.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, sir.
Does this fill all your vacancies?
Yes, sir. That will make us, we will be full staffed that time. Yes.
Thank you.
Stanford.
For his.
This one.
He starts.
That's all these ones.
Next, we have a bid opening for Austin Regional's mass notification system. Mr. Hart.
Thank you very much. We received one bid for a new, to replace our current mass notification system, which is for the most part antiquated. Yes.
President, the bid was, one bid was submitted by Regroup, R-E-U-R-U-P. We can find the number here. If I'm reading this correctly, this is the proposal, for 31,000.
That's for the, I don't believe that's correct. That's based, that should be basically, those numbers are based the pricing on.
There's several numbers. Well, there's 31 there, then there's 7 there, and then there's 15.4 there.
Would delay any action on this to give Mr. Hart time to review it. You have just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Give us a total number, make sure that it coincides with what actually needed to be done. We'll delay action.
Always.
Next, we have the bid opening for the St. Joe Tower Equipment Building Roof Project.
One bid, for the replacement of the St. Joe, or the roof at the St. Joe Equipment Building, Cow Creek.
That's shoved in there. Mr. President, one bid received by Calcruth Roofing for the St. Joe Equipment Building Roof Project, and the total cost is $33,850.
Hart, would you want time to review that as well?
Yes.
Okay. We'll delay action on that for a few minutes as well.
Thank you.
Next, would recognize the county administrator regarding her items.
It's always nice when I can share information because it seems like no projects get completed in our office. They just go on and on and on. We do have one issue that we need to take care of. 2 years ago, the prosecutor seized, the sheriff's department seized, drug task force seized, somebody seized a house on Thorn Avenue. Drug task force seized a house on Thorn Avenue. We have been maintaining the property. The structure has been torn down. Our maintenance crew has gone out and mowed and weeded once. We would like to get this off our books so that it's not continuous, that they have to do it throughout the summer. We've contacted Beams Auction with the sheriff's approval. We would like to have Beams do an auction for that property. They would be doing it on June 16th, is that the? Yes, on June 16th. There will be a minimum bid that does encompass all of the expenditures, and I apologize, I don't have that number. But it will The money will go back into the seizure fund for the Marshall County Sheriff's Department and the Marshall County Prosecutor's Office. It will also cover the cost of Beams auction service, and of course, it covered the cost of the pest control that is currently being done on the house. One side of it, we have 2 more months left on it. It became a real big problem when that structure was taken down, and it will cover the cost of the asbestos abatement and the actual demolition of the structure. So if I could get approval for Beams Auction to perform that service for us, and every page where there is a sign here needs a signature.
First, I'll make a motion to accept the agreements with Beams Auction and Real Estate Services LLC to perform the auction on the Thorn Avenue property that was seized by the Marshall County Sheriff's Department.
Second.
Motion and second to enter into agreement with Beams Auction Service to auction the property on Thorn Avenue to be held June 16th as this property was seized by the Sheriff's Department. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
As Commissioner Varner mentioned, the closing for the AEP building, former AEP building, took place a couple weeks ago. At that point, we started putting together the request for qualifications for architecture and engineering services. The commission's long-term goal has always been to do a judicial annex. When this building came available, the thought process was to first get family court out of the second floor because that's where the majority of our issues are. So with that being said, the primary purpose of that building would be family court. Some offices have some other ideas for that building, which is a conversation for later. Once we select an architect or engineer, the first thing that we would have them do would be floor plan management. So the difference in this request for qualification, because the long-term goal has always been to build a judicial annex, I would like to put this request for qualification out for a 5-year term. Instead of just doing this building, I would like to do any judicial building that is constructed or rehabilitated within 5 years. In my mind, if you have one firm who is looking at the big picture, it's going to be much more seamless than it would be if you had one do this and another one selected for that, and God forbid we got another building and had to do something else, and major renovations. In my mind, if you have one group looking at everything, it's much more seamless. They know what's where. They know the ancillary services. They've done the research about best practices for judicial buildings and services. So with your permission, I will be running the advertisement for this request for qualification in the Echo, May 21st, May 28th, due back on June 16th at 9 a.m. And of course, like we always do, we'll send it out to all the local architects and engineers.
Any questions? All right.
President, I'll make a motion to put out for request for qualifications for architectural and engineering services for the Marshall County Courthouse facilities.
Second.
Motion has second to put out the RFQ for the Marshall County Architectural Engineering Services, Marshall County Court Facilities for a 5-year period. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Our next meeting is to be June 2nd, and we have a lot of vacations coming up for people the first few weeks of June. We will only have one commissioner in town on that meeting, so I'm requesting that we cancel. And our next meeting would be June 16th.
We need to entertain a motion for that,
What's the date on that?
June 2nd.
Sir, Mr. President, I will make a motion to officially cancel the June 2nd, 2026 meeting of the Marshall County Commission.
Second.
Motion has second to cancel the June 2nd Marshall County Commission meeting. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Now-
Meeting is canceled.
That being said, could we have permission to pay bills as normal on the normal rotation and then have formal approval on the 16th, please?
Yes, I will make a motion to grant permission to pay bills as required and then have formal approval on the June 16th meeting.
Second.
Motion has second to pay the bills for that period of time and then formally approve on June 16th at the June 16th meeting. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Mr. Hart?
Something else?
That's fine. Go ahead. I got plenty more.
So on the mass notification system, so the pricing was based off of a population of 31,000. Their annual cost is 7,000 per year. It was bid out for a 3-year cycle, which their final price came in at, bid price came in at $15,400.
And that's for 3 years?
Yes, that's for 3 years.
Name at the bid specs?
Yes, everything is, actually, yes, it was above and beyond.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to accept the one and only bid by Regroup for the mass notification system in the amount of $15,400 as they meet the bid specifications.
Second.
Motion has second to accept the bid from Regroup at the dollar amount of $15,400 for a 3-year agreement. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And then the bid for the St. Joe Public Building replacement, it was spot on with the specifications, so it did meet the bid specs.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to accept the bid for the St. Joe roof replacement by Calcrete Roofing and Sheet Metal in the amount of $33,850 as they have met the bid specifications.
Second.
Motion is second, having met the bid specifications, is to approve the contract with Calcrete Roofing for the St. Joe Tower Equipment Building Roof Project at the total amount of $33,850. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
So if you look at our holiday schedule, June 19th was placed on our list this year for the first time. It is Friday the 19th. West Virginia Day is Saturday the 20th. Any holiday that falls on a Saturday is, for normal everyday employees, is recognized on the Friday. So after much debate, talking to other counties and legal counsel, both holidays will be observed on Friday, June 19th, unless the state does something different. we've been getting questions about that now, so I just wanted to make that clarification.
Would you like an acknowledgement or a motion to that effect?
That would be great.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we celebrate both holidays, West Virginia Day and Juneteenth, on Friday, on the previous Friday, prior Friday, unless the governor of the state of West Virginia declares another day a holiday.
Second.
Motion and a second that we, holiday for West Virginia Day and Juneteenth be observed on Friday the 19th, unless otherwise changed or dictated by the governor's office. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Commissioner McLaughlin and I had a meeting, it may have been a month ago now, with Red, kind of dipping our toes back into the housing arena. Since then, we've had a couple meetings with some property owners. One who is on their second round of Brownsfield studies to have it done to housing standards. I have another meeting coming up about some other large acreage property in Marshall County to see if that property owner would be interested in having the same Brownsfield study done through Bellamar. I have had a couple conversations with some bankers who have some pretty good relationships with housing developers. Commissioner McLaughlin is working with one currently in the city of Benwood. So I think that as farther we go down the road, it's just something that we know we need. It's something that, a couple years ago, we took the first step and did our housing study. But this is a long-term goal, but I think taking baby steps and walking through every process, I think in a few years we'll actually see some, hopefully some, so in my opinion, 65 and older housing and $250,000 to $350,000 house developments in our area. So, but it won't happen tomorrow.
Well, clearly, in initiating the process a few years ago, we're where we're at today. And
Absolutely. The housing study, although we did not necessarily like the outcome, it was the first step in the process in getting anybody to talk to. The second one, a few years ago, Tom Cooper, who is the Emergency Management Director in Tyler, approached the commission about a rural transit authority. We had a few meetings. They thought they had everything in line, and then all of a sudden, with the change of administration, both on a federal and state level, we all thought the project was dropped. Well, about 2 weeks ago, we got an email saying, holy cow, folks, we might be able to do this. Now, this is not an Averta-style transit authority, but this is an on-demand transit authority. And it would encompass Marshall, Wetzel, Tyler, maybe Ritchie. Each will have their own, whether it be passenger vans or cars assigned. We would all have members appointed to the authority board, and each county would determine how this is used and where it is used in their county. So, at first glance, we were thinking, up on the 88, 86 area, out in the Cameron area to help get people into town, to doctor's appointments, to the DMV, things like that. So that is not off the board. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. The meetings will start again, and hopefully we'll be receiving more information down the road. 2 years ago, in our budget, we earmarked $112,000 for this project. It looks like right now the base cost for Marshall County would be $55,520 if we choose to move forward with this. But this project is back online. And the last thing I have is, this is EMS week, and I just, EMS does a lot in our community, and one of the things that's going on right now, I think they have 4 different training courses available to the public this week. So, not only are they first responders and medical providers in our area, they do a lot of good trainings. Most of them are directed at other fire departments and EMS, and a lot of times we open them to other counties too. So I just wanted you to be aware, that they're in addition to providing services, they're also doing community outreach, and they've really taken that on, and Cindy has done a great job boosting those activities for Marshall County.
Again, I can't say enough good about them, for all of our public safety for that matter, whether it be law enforcement, whether it be EMS, Office of Emergency, 911.
I agree.
It's, and we are recognized statewide. People say, you guys do it right up there. And that, I think, is a certain testament to all of our folks in what they do. So, thanks for what you do, everybody. And we're just fortunate to be a little part of it from where we sit. But really statewide, you would be, having been involved statewide in a lot of different things, you'd be shocked the number of people come up to me and say, you guys really, really do it right up there. So, again, thanks for what you do, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
That's all I've got.
Okay. And the final thing is any other department or elected official updates? Anyone?
I would like to say something to follow up on your comment is because the county commission and Betsy allow us to do our jobs to where, allow us to do our jobs at the best that we can. And you guys provide the necessary support and backing to make that happen. So it's a group, it's a team effort, all the way around. And also too, it's hard to believe, but next year, this time next year will be 10 years of Morris County EMS.
Wow. Yeah. There were a lot of sleepless nights on my part thinking, running the finance part of it and saying, okay, but we also knew it was sorely needed. I mean, it was just given all the, without getting into a lot of detail, I mean, we knew it had to happen. And again, the one gentleman from Cameron, every single time I see him, initially, right off the bat, he would hug me. You have no idea. Your people saved my mother's life. Now he'll point, say, remember, and again, the other thing that I think is a true testament to our public safety people is that all of you work together. I mean, it's a real cohesive relationship. Yeah, every now and then we have a disagreement here or there, but we find a way to make sure it all works and works well. And again, you're to be commended for those types of things.
Well, we're doing it publicly too. Anytime we go out and do these events, you'll come in and we're all lined up. It's EMS, it's 911, it's the sheriff, and that is a really good thing to see.
Absolutely. Because that's not common.
I have one more.
One more.
Assessor Lockhart is not able to be here because they have their state training today up at Oglebay. She just wanted me to let you know she has hired 3 people through the PVC fund. The first one being LaShonda Garamella, who fills the vacant position in their office created by her being appointed the assessor in the personal property business commercial deputy. She will be paid from the assessor's PVC fund, and her start date is Monday, June 1st. You don't need to do anything with those because they are PVC. I just need to get them
I
to.
didn't know whether we needed to acknowledge her.
You can. I mean, if you want to, you can. You don't have to.
Obviously, we don't approve them.
Right.
They're hers, but
And then the next 2 people, Kane Martin, will serve as a part-time summer real estate office support and staff. He will be paid from the assessor's PVC. His start date is June 1 and will conclude on or before August 15th, which I hope you reject because he's supposed to do some work for me at home. Great news. And Avery Taylor will serve as a part-time personal property oil and gas support staff and will be paid from the assessor's PVC fund. Her start date is also June 1st and will conclude on or before August 15th.
I entertain a motion to acknowledge the employment of these 3 individuals through the PVC fund for the Marshall County Assessor.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we acknowledge that the assessor, Amanda Lockhart, has filled vacancies in her office, one being full-time by LaShonda Armella, and 2 part-time employees, Kane Martin and Avery Taylor, all being paid from the PVC fund.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to acknowledge the employment of 3 individuals, 1 full-time, 2 part-time individuals through the PVC fund by the assessor. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anyone else have anything to say? Sheriff?
I'll just actually mirror kind of what everybody else said, that the way that we're all working together now is wonderful, and obviously your guys' support makes me be able to do my job a lot better with the way that you support all of our ventures and the financials and everything. I truly appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody else here with us working together.
Again, you all do tremendous work.
Yes, I just want to, it's that time of year where everybody can go out and have fun, and since all the head honchos are here, I want to make sure you guys all know to tell your guys and women that they do have a Marshall County discount at Grandview Park to do cabins and shelters and all the activities. So the code is MCC 26. So I appreciate everything you guys are doing. And that concludes you guys too. And without you guys, I mean, I have to call you sheriff and say I'm every freaking week. Hopefully now a lot of that stuff's calmed down, and now we're getting into our tourism season and guest season. So really appreciate everything you guys do, and your 911 people call me and let me know what's going on. So I appreciate that.
I just want to say, since we're not going to have the second meeting, the June 2nd meeting, our pharmacy program kicks off June 11th. It's a Thursday from 9 to 11. Every Thursday for 15 weeks we'll be in conjunction with the Extension Office and a farm grower in Wheeling. For the pharmacy program, we got 16 people signed up. We're really excited to start this program. And I want to echo everything everybody has said. If it wasn't for you guys, we couldn't do the things that we do.
And the health department's a very important partner of ours as well.
Anything further business, gentlemen? Entertain a motion to adjourn?
Mr. President, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn.